Well, I'm talking with Barbara Butler of Barnard, who had a lot to do with this exciting move that took place today of moving an old sugar house behind the Barnard store. So it took about 2 years of work before you could even move the sugar house today.
It was necessary to raise money to be able to afford to move it. All the ducks in a row, the proper place for it, it took a long time. We're not really sure that he did his writing in the sugar house, but one can only imagine that he could have, because he was a loner and he always wanted to find a quiet place to write. And he could certainly do it there, but his memory certainly survives and we can feel it in the sugar house. We moved it to the Dorothy Thompson Common, who was Sinclair Lewis's wife. And we wanted to complete a very important historical decade where Sinclair Lewis was America's first Nobel laureate, and Dorothy Thompson, his wife, was America's first female syndicated columnist. This is two very important people, well known throughout the whole world, that lived in Barnard for 10 years, and we just wanted to memorialize them and preserve this chapter of history. Dorothy Thompson became famous when she was working in Europe and she interviewed Hitler. And she came back to the United States and wrote about this man, and wrote that he didn't seem like a very good man, and that she told people in our government about him that he's somebody that we ought to be careful about. Then when she went back to Germany on her next visit, Hitler kicked her out. Then later she met Sinclair Lewis and they were married, and he was a Nobel laureate for his body of work. Probably the most famous is Main Street. Sinclair Lewis Museum Committee wants to call it a museum, and inside of it document Lewis's writings.
Now that it's been moved, how can people help you accomplish the goals that you've set up for this project?
The biggest help is making a donation whenever anybody can to the Barnard Silver Lake Association, the Sinclair Lewis Museum Committee.